Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is a Montezar from the Chicago camp coming back at you again with another lesson entitled Women Following This Truth. Keep your mouth closed. Stop talking. So it's amazing to um, to think that a woman that's following this truth and knows the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shai would actually open her mouth and call herself preaching or teaching this word when she has been commanded to keep silent. There's no way that you are following this particular doctrine, okay, and you're following um, the Lord under the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shai and the men of GMS, okay? And this truth taught you the name. And this truth taught you the doctrine. And with that doctrine, you're supposed to keep silent. If you're not saying Shalom, good lesson, all praises, you need to be quiet. But you have these women, some kind of way, they've lifted up the head, all right, and they opening their mouth with wrong breakdowns and wrong information. They're speaking contrary to the truth. So that's what this lesson is about. Be quiet, okay? Um, the book of Numbers, the 30th chapter, talks about a woman, all right, having male oversight. Now, I've spoken about it before. I've covered it in previous lessons. But a woman was always supposed to have male oversight, all right? And this goes into even just her simply making promises or vows, okay? Her word has to be established by either her father or her husband. That's the way the Lord designed it, okay? So that means that if she was in her father's house, all right, whatever she called herself, binding herself to, like a vow or promise or anything, if her father heard it and he was okay with it, then her vow would stand. If her father did not like what she had to say, he could disallow it, and the Lord will forgive her the vow that she made. Same thing when she leaves her father's house and goes to her husband's house. Her husband has the power and the authority, okay, to establish, all right, whatever's coming out of her mouth as a vow or promise. If he doesn't like what she says, he can disallow it and say, nah, you ain't doing that. Okay? So this principle is found in the law. Okay? So it's a principle. It's not going to change. So today you have women trying to say that um, 1 Corinthians was location specific. That's not true at all. It wasn't location specific. Paul said it was a shame for a woman to speak in the church. These YouTube platforms are not just YouTube platforms, they are, in fact, the church. So stop talking. Let's get into it. 1 Corinthians 2 and 11 it says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. That's the principle. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Wow. Yeah, still getting stuff. Salakia. But the woman being deceived was in transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Okay? So let's look at verse 15. It says, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Now, the Apostle Paul is talking to Timothy about a woman being saved and saved for the purpose of childbearing if they continue in faith. Well, he's telling you how to continue in faith by telling the women to what? Learn in silence with all subjection. That's part of the faith and the charity. He's giving you instructions for your faith. Your faith ain't going to be increased by you being disobedient to what the Lord says because you feel like you got to get it off. 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. See, that's what the Christians, all right, they don't like to read that part. Okay? They are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. For it is a shame for women to speak in the church. All right? That's a principle. That's not location specific. What? Came the word of the Most High out from you, or came it unto you only? If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. All right. So Paul is saying, hey, this ain't even of me. I'm telling you what the Lord say. All right. If you are a woman and you're following this truth, you need to keep quiet. Proverbs 8 and 4 says, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. Okay. The Lord is dealing with the men. All right. He's bringing this word forth through the men. Ecclesiastes 5 and 1, it says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Excuse me, miss, you're doing evil, all right, whether you realize it or not. Okay? Be quiet. And lastly, Proverbs 13 and 10. Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. Okay? All right, so this needed to go out, all right, for whoever needed it. Okay? Keep quiet. Stop talking. All right? Just follow the men, all right? And stop trying to uh get attention. All right? The Lord ain't dealing with you when you're in that spirit. I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Until the next one. Shalom.